Hi, this is Joe Chambers. Welcome to Musicians Hall of Fame Backstage, the Vault Series. Today's clip comes from an interview we did back in 2004 with Nashville session great Harold Bradley. Harold talks about recording with Patsy Cline and his brother, who was Patsy's producer, Owen Bradley. Talks about their relationship in the studio. He talks about how actually pulls out a couple of his old guitars and shows the parts that he played on some of her classic hits. Hope you like it. If you do, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new content. Once again, the late, great Harold Bradley.
This is a Stromberg built for me in 1953 by Elmer Stromberg.
Did you use that on any of Patsy stuff?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, I probably did, because I got it in 53, and I would have been using it in 61 or 62 and 63 when she was recording. And probably the one that it's on that you can really hear is Bill Bailey. You come home, Bill Bailey. You know, when she did the slow version. Yeah, would have been on her stuff there.
And your bass guitar here?
Well, the tic-tac, yeah. As far, I can't tell exactly what year. It's 1958 or 59 that they developed these instruments, and they're $90 a piece of junk, but with a fantastic sound, you know. And this one is the original one that I used on Crazy, and I used it on Devil in Disguise with Elvis. It's on a lot of Roy Orbison's records. It's on Brenda Lee's records.
Just if you would name just some of those titles.
Well,
Roy Orbison.
Oh gosh, I think I played it on Only the Lonely. The one that was so out of meter, and they got a great pickup on them too. Boy, I mean, they picked you up back then. And right now the engineers are not sure how to pick this instrument up, what it's supposed to sound like, you know. The one that it's one of the most famous ones is Crazy, because Bob Moore and I had to match the notes, you know, and the one that we were talking about. But unfortunately, you can't hear very much of it because it doesn't have any F holes or anything like that, but it kind of went like, you know, first of all, I developed a technique which turned out to be electric bass technique, because if you play a D position like this, you got your little finger going like that, but I didn't do that. I started on the second finger. And developed that. But I did the most important thing was in the right hand, I muted the strings, because this thing will not tune with any known instrument to man. If you play it open, you know, or like, it'll never get in tune with the bass, and it just won't happen. So if you mute it like this, you're all right. And what I did when Bob Moore and I were playing together, there was no music. We'd be playing along, and all of a sudden we'd be playing 2/4, and then it went into 4/4. Well, I didn't know what Bob was going to play, and I wasn't going to have time to learn it, and he wasn't going to play the same thing twice. So I just slid my hand up a little here, and all you got off me was a click, like that. And then Bob had the note, and we just never did tell Owen. You know, because back then he couldn't separate me out, you know, and I couldn't go back and learn it. We just, so whatever his notes were going to be right, and I clicked and just didn't say anything about it, you know. But one of the famous ones, I hope it'll pick up this one, is Crazy, you know. It was like Floyd Kramer played da da. I'm sorry, I got the wrong key. I won't hum it, I'll just play it.
Patsy Cline. I mean, you know, I guess you did so much stuff for your brother that are just they're timeless. They still sound great. I don't care what kind of equipment or improvements they make in technology. Those records are just they're just timeless. They're art. That's all there is to it.
Well, I think you're right. Crazy is the #1 jukebox hit of all time. It passed Elvis Presley's Don't Be Cruel and Hound Dog about 5-6 years ago. It's above Sinatra's New York, New York, above the Beatles, above anybody in top 40 jukebox hits of all time. And I Fall to Pieces is further down in there, and Tammy Wynette's is further down in there, and For the Good Times is down there somewhere. But we cut a lot of flops with her. I think we started recording about 1955. She was recording for 4-Star Records, a gentleman named Bill McCall owned that company, and they only had one hit, and it was Walking After Midnight. And then none of the rest of the songs were hits because he made her do songs that he had the publishing on and didn't have any good songs.
Lost a lot of good artists to that situation, haven't we?
Right. So when my brother became the head of Decca, which I think was somewhere in 1960, he didn't know whether Patsy would sign with him again because they'd had just this one hit and everything else was flops. But he had a call one day, and his assistant came in, Harry Silverstein, and said, when Patsy Cline's on the phone, she says she'll sign with us, we'll give her $1,000. And so Owen jumped at that opportunity to work with her because he knew she was talented. And even though they argued on the sessions, that's pretty well documented, how much people can't agree on. We just kind of sit there and shake and shiver, and he would always win. They never cursed each other, you know. But she always wanted to get involved in the music, and I guess great singers always do. But she always wanted to do something that he didn't like, and that was end up on a high note, like a high yodel at the end, like Cowgirl Sweetheart or something, you know. And that didn't fit the kind of songs he was doing and everything. And I think some of the times when she did a song, just because she's so mad at him, you could feel a lot of emotion in her voice, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she signed, and then the first thing they did was a hit. It was I Fall to Pieces. And I remember the session. Doug Kirkham actually played drums on it, wasn't Buddy Harman. And I remember it because we kept trying various beats, and Owen would never let us play a Bob Wills 4/4 shuffle because he thought that was a cop-out. And so he tried everything, and finally said, well, try a 4/4 shuffle, and we did. And later on I tried to figure out, well, why did he let us do that? And if you think about it, the melody moves so slow. I fall, and you go I, 2/4, fall, but it just dies. So if you go I fall, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew what he was doing, you know. But the very first thing they did was a hit. And then there weren't any more arguments. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody was happy. He said that she stuck her head in his door, and after it was a big hit and everything, and said, I never did like that little song anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I was really surprised. Said, I thought she loved the song. And he said, a lot of people think she said that about Crazy, but it wasn't. It was I Fall to Pieces. So when we did Crazy, well, it was 7:15 to 11:15, and all we got was a track. She'd had her ribs broken in an automobile wreck, and she couldn't hold the notes out. So I don't remember the Willie Nelson demo. Some of the guys that played on it said they remember Owen playing Willie's demo. I don't remember that. All I remember is Owen sitting at the piano and us playing, and then her trying to sing it. Excuse me. And he'd go in the control room, and then he'd come back out, and then he'd say, Floyd, how about this? Da-da-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. We thought, oh, we got to learn that, you know, because there was no music and no number system. We were learning it by rote. And then, so we work on it, and finally we get ready to cut it, and she can't sing it on there, cut, you know, because she can't sing it. So we do a track. 4 hours, and we do a track. He wasn't upset. He was not yelling, screaming, upset, mad at us because we didn't do it. They knew what the deal was, and his memory is that she came back about 2 weeks later and sang it in one take.
Mm-hmm.
He said when she got it, we both decided we didn't want to do it again, because actually she got it right if you listen to it. It's
Mhm.
amazing vocal.